The first stage ramping up.
Engine turbo pumps at twice speed. Engines at max thrust.
And liftoff.
Liftoff.
Alex Kropotchka, Jessica Mirza, Ali Al-Mansuri leaping forth from Gagarin start on their way to the International Space Station.
Expect flight. First and second stage in thrusters are operating just fine. Copy. Everything is fine on board the Soyuz. We're feeling great. Copy.
We're going to continue to get these translations throughout the flight. Everything's still sounding good with that first stage. You can see the 4 strap-on boosters lighting up the night sky. Soyuz delivering 930,000 pounds of thrust with that first stage, the 4 boosters and the single core engine. You can see them punching through the cloud layer there. The first stage measures 68 feet in length, 24 feet in diameter, burning liquid fuel for the first 2 minutes of the flight.
Pitch, your roll are nominal.
So pitch, yaw, and roll referring to the orientation of the vehicle. Nominal, a word you'll hear a lot. That just means everything's proceeding normally. Continuing to get good first stage indicators from the Soyuz. Things looking good inside the cabin. You can see Jessica Mir at the top of your screen. Alex Kropotchka at the bottom there in the commander's seat.
First and second stage thrusters are operating nominally.
A little over a minute and a half into the flight, everything continuing to go well with the Soyuz crew. We've already well exceeded over 1,100 miles an hour. The next things we're going to be looking for is the escape tower jettison, and then the first stage strap-on boosters separating. And they're getting a great view. You can see that choreograph across the first stage. Strap-on boosters have separated along with that tower. Now the core engine continuing to fire. The Soyuz already at an altitude of about 28 statute miles.
Nominal. Copy. Everything is nominal on board. We are feeling great. Copy.
So at this point, the Soyuz traveling in excess of 3,300 miles per hour. You can see those 4 strap-on boosters continuing to descend. The Soyuz powered now by that core stage engine. And standing by for that third stage ignition. Confirmation, second stage has shut down and separated. The Soyuz now being powered by that third stage engine.
Copy. Gaga 2, command, cut off command, went through, and everything is nominal on board. Copy all.
Everything continuing to proceed smoothly. The core booster separating at an altitude of about 105 miles in height. It's about 170 kilometers. Now being propelled by the single engine of the third stage. It provides about 67,000 pounds of thrust and is going to burn for a little over 4 minutes. It will be the final phase of the rocket's journey into orbit.
Third stage thrusters are operating nominally.
Again, this is a view looking back towards the end, and that'll be cutting in and out this an animation of what's taking place right now. That third stage engine going to continue to fire and carry the vehicle into orbit. This is actually a view, you're seeing one of the folded up solar arrays. That, and along with a series of antennas, will deploy shortly after the Soyuz makes its initial orbit.
450 seconds into the flight. The flight is nominal.
We're approaching 8 minutes since liftoff. At this point, the vehicle traveling at a velocity of over almost 13,500 miles an hour. We're just under a minute away from third stage shutdown and separation. We'll see the engine on the third stage cut off and separate, delivering the Soyuz spacecraft into its initial orbit.
490 seconds. The spacecraft is stable. Copy all. Everything's nominal on board and we are feeling great. Copy. 500 seconds. Everything is nominal. Ducat 3 command. Got him.
Getting a spectacular view there. You see the third stage separate and fly away.
And Sarmat, congratulations. We're handing you over to Moscow. Sarmat, Moscow. Go ahead. Go ahead, Moscow. How are you feeling? We're standing by for your report on the third stage separation. Everything was nominal and we're feeling great. And we are working from pages 35 through 39. Copy all. And we are standing by for the first measurement for page 36.
And just like that, 3 new crew members now in outer space, the third stage separating, and we did get a good report that all of the solar arrays and antennas have deployed. So a spacecraft in good health now in orbit around planet Earth. Russian cosmonaut Oleg Skropochka, NASA astronaut Jessica Mir, and your United Arab Emirates astronaut Hazan Ali Al-Mansuri now in outer space, beginning their chase down of the International Space Station.
Copy all. It's closed. RBV 1 and 2 flow sensors are closed. Copy all. That's wonderful.
And oversight of the spacecraft now going to be transferring over to the Russian Mission Control Center just outside of Moscow. It'll be this team right there in the room. And again, we did get confirmation that both solar arrays and all of the rendezvous and docking antennas have deployed. So a spacecraft in good health, along with a crew, now ready to make the 6-hour journey towards the space station. Sarmat, we can see the image. And we're standing by for the first measurement for page 36 from you. That's a Russian Progress vehicle.
The range is 200 meters and 0.13 meters per second is the rate. The fly around is continuing. We are going around SMF. Copy. The range is 208. The rate is around 0. Fly around is continuing. We are going around SMF and we start moving closer to the docking node. Copy. We can see the docking node. Can you see the video? At the moment, yes. Copy. We Can't see the roll maneuver right now. Copy. We also see the final approach indication.
You're seeing thruster firings on the Soyuz as it finishes up that fly-around maneuver. Eventually lining it right up with the aft end of the station.
We are almost along the axis of...
And right on time, we did lose our video signal. We should get it back hopefully within the next few minutes. Continue to get those audio call-outs. And just in time, getting that video back. So, looking right down the business end here from the Zvezda service module, looking right at the docking cone on the Soyuz spacecraft itself as it continues to close in.
Approximately 20 meters, point
Just about 20 meters away.
is the rate. IR. Indication is on, copy.
По курсу дальность 20, скорость 011 на причале.
20 meters is the range, point 11 is the rate, the range is 17, copy. We can see the same.
And again, slow and steady, the Soyuz approaching at just about a tenth of a meter per second.
Copy.
Есть небольшой угол крена.
I can see a roll angle here. It's not that big. Point 13 is the closing rate. Copy. We can see that in the video.
И6 полклетки ниже.
The target is slightly lower the center. The crosshairs are aligned. The roll is close to 0. Copy. Point 11 is the rate.
Coming up on 10 meters away.
We see some roll angle here. The crosshairs are still aligned. We are in OSK. Copy.
Дальность
The rate is around 7 meters. Copy.
скорость 0,1 на
The rate is 0.1. Copy all. We can see that as well.
дальность.
The range is around 3 meters. We are standing by for contact. 0.1 is the rate. Copy. You're standing by for contact.
Standing by for contact and docking.
Дальность.
Range is around 1 meter. 0.1 is the rate.
Касание подвод.
I confirm the contact.
Contact.
Copy. Contact is confirmed. Mechanical connection is confirmed as well.
Иди на ТС-8.
I see that on gas 8. Copy.
And Soyuz docking confirmed that coming at 2:42 p.m. Central Time, 3:42 p.m. Eastern Time, while the station and Soyuz were flying 264 statute miles over the southern Pacific Ocean off the west coast of Chile.
Oleg, we can see the
So again, docking
distraction.
confirmed 2:42 p.m. Central Time, 3:42 p.m. Eastern. 3 new crew members now docked to the International Space Station.
Okay, let's go to page 66 now.
They did manage to get there about 3 minutes ahead of schedule.
Come again.
Now, though, they are going to wait for the relative motion between the Soyuz and the station to dampen out. Eventually, a series of hooks are going to engage over the next 15 minutes or so to secure the Soyuz spacecraft in place. Following that, we'll kick off a series of leak checks, all of that getting us down the road to eventually getting these hatches open. Again, docking confirmed 2:42 p.m. Central Time, 3:42 p.m. Eastern.
Very good, thanks, sections 1, pressure, copy.
Есть замок открытый.
Okay. Latches are locked. Rollers have moved to the side, and now I can go ahead and open it. Copy.
And there we see the Soyuz hatch open. So the hatch opening coming at 5:12 p.m. Central Time, 6:12 p.m. Eastern Time, with the space station flying 260 statute miles over the Indian Ocean. The hatch now open. The MS-15 crew gonna make their way out. First through the door, Alex Kropotchka saying hello to the International Space Station for the third time in his career. And just behind him looks like NASA astronaut Jessica Meir, the first-time flyer, saying hello to some of her fellow ASCAN crewmates and some of the cosmonauts already on board, making her first flight to the station. And there we see Huzzah Ali Al-Mansuri in the background. Last but not least, all 9 crew members now inside the Russian segment aboard the International Space Station. We'll give them a minute to say hello to each other. Some of these crew members have trained together for years, haven't seen each other for months, now reunited 260 miles over planet Earth. We'll give them a minute, and then in just a little while we'll set up and have them talk to friends and family back in Baikonur who've been watching the day's events unfold.
When should we start our PO?